Guys, welcome.
Oh God, we've started. Hello. Hi.
Rolling start.
Hi.
Burn after
Actually,
watching
I feel like
guys.
this movie is kind of a rolling start. Actually, if we're being honest, it's kind of you just.
It doesn't.
roll
I would say this
right
movie's
into it.
opposite. It never gets started.
Oh God.
Guys, we watched John Carpenter's. That's part of the title. Ghosts of Mars.
Well, because John Carpenter, he directed it. He wrote the story.
The music.
He wrote the music, which by the way, like
the
low-key
worst.
banger.
There's nothing banging. Like banging your head against the
Yeah, I
wall.
wanted to kill myself.
yeah.
I was like, I want to die.
Yeah. Oh man, 2001. John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars.
Guys,
You
we
watch it.
got some great.
Hold on. First, let's start some drinking. UFO Winter Blonde totally goes. UFOs.
I want to
Hazy blonde vanilla coffee ale.
Ghost. Oh
That
damn.
feels like I'm on a.
That tastes like high school. I don't know why. It just, it
I
just
don't know
does.
why.
It tastes like
Tastes like
Virginia,
high
guys.
school.
Guys, this movie. Okay, if you're just not even to look at the list, who would you guess is in this movie? Like Ghosts of Mars. Like,
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, definitely first film. Who else? Who's the female lead?
Christina Ricci.
Perfect. Perfect. They're both the same height. It makes sense. It only makes sense. Guys, the first build character, and like one of the first words that comes up on the screen, Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
And you're like,
So
I
he
can't
was-
wait to see
He's
this guy.
coming off of Anaconda, great
Which
classic
so
film.
none unless you got Bun Son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, he was ready to make another movie. And so he's the first build. And then we get Natasha Henstridge. Remember her? Not Natasha Richardson.
No,
Or
no,
Natasha
I mean,
Lyonne.
Or Natasha
Who
Lyonne.
would mix those people up anyway?
Yeah.
Like, what idiot would do that? Not me, for sure.
And then we got Pam Grier, which you're like,
Fucking Pam Grier.
Pam Grier!
All in on this. What's her character going to do in this movie?
Yeah.
I'm down.
Like she's
Also-
probably gonna be the
And then also, who else was in this, you guys?
So like Jason Statham.
Jason Statham!
Still, he's like, oh,
a very young.
yeah, and I'm gonna hit on you every
But
12
still
seconds.
balding.
Yeah.
You want to rip? Huh? You know what I mean, dude?
I know
Like-
what Jason Statham shaved his
Like
head
at
back.
one point, and we'll talk about it, he's like, so would you finally get it on with Jason Statham? And I'm like, I'd make him shave his head first. And
I'm gonna do a little patch. Like,
you guys, last but not least, Clea Duvall is in this movie. Clea Duvall. I actually do not know a lot of movies Clea Duvall because I love her.
I
and
could not
TV
remember
shows.
her name at all. I'm like, is she like Bayou something?
Bijou Phillip.
Bijou Phillips.
Yeah,
No, she's not Bijou Phillips.
Busy.
That is
not
different.
Busy Phillips. That's a
Not
different
Busy Phillips either.
A different person.
Those
than
are
Busy
both
Phillips.
blondes. But from the same era, so I get it. I get it.
Wilson Phillips.
Yeah.
Is it
No.
Wilson Phillips?
Let me get him
Final
called.
answer.
The whole band. Yeah. So, we're in the future, you guys. What year to be exact?
2176.
2176. And we've
I don't remember that. I didn't
we've
write it
gone
down.
to Mars and we found out that Mars had some stuff on it that we're gonna mine. Things that we can use here on Earth, right?
Well, we've started terraforming Mars. We're actually
Mars needs Velcro.
about 80% into the process. of
but
terraforming
also
Mars.
not to like any of the ground stuff.
No, I don't know what the.
Like how? What 80% you at?
I think it's temperature, pressure.
Patience, intelligence, speed. Oh, that's
Hard.
Part Man. That's Part Man.
Oh, okay.
Heart.
Guys, how many people are on Mars though currently?
600,000.
640,000.
No, you guys were reading and listening, good at reading and
There's
listening.
just a
to
lot
me.
of fucking reading at the beginning here, and it's one of those movies where you're like, this is gonna be that kind
And it
of
was
movie.
terrible. Yeah, it was terrible because she's talking while there's also words that are not the same words on the screen. So you're like,
I don't know what she
facts,
said.
Facts about Mars, but she's talking about the history of Mars or something like that. But there's facts over here, and it's like,
I don't remember
okay.
anything she was saying. If that makes you feel better. I was trying to
But
read.
you guys,
The
guess
whole
what?
movie.
Guess what though? In the future, matriarchal society. Women are in charge.
All ladies.
Well, Mars.
No, those ladies are on Earth.
Yeah.
Those are Earth ladies.
Oh, they
Those
were?
are,
Yeah,
she
it's
went
Earth.
back to Earth.
It's an Earth tribunal.
It starts on Earth.
Yeah.
So she's back on Earth.
So we're
telling
saying
her
in
story.
200 years we
Which,
flipped that around?
by the way, that train went to Earth.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because like the
Yeah, right,
train
what?
pulled up and it was just a ghost train, or maybe they just like rocketed there afterwards. I'm confused.
Yeah.
I don't know that either. I assume they were still on Mars.
They implied that they were on Earth,
Yeah.
and that she was the only person that found this train, which also means that
From
then they
Mars,
put her on
yeah.
a train.
Yeah.
How was the
and
train going
sent
from Mars
her
though?
back. But yeah, and so best case scenario, they put her on a
Because you guys, they made
sent her back.
they made
There's
a
not like a
space
tube.
train. Space
There's not
train.
like a tube between
Oh, you know what?
Space
No,
tube.
I got it, guys. Hold on. Because they do say this a little bit later.
Mm.
So it's Earth governed Mars.
Oh, so
the
they're
Earth,
on Mars.
It's an Earth tribunal, but they're on Mars.
They're on
Okay.
Mars, yeah. You're right. Ben.
Yes.
You're
So
right.
we're both right. We're all right. It's all good. We're all right.
So, but it's all women, and they're like, "Hey, you're the only survivor
Which is why it goes crazy,
of
right?
something
Am I right?
that happened." Right? Yeah. That's why it's fucked up from the beginning,
nice
right?
John Carpenter.
Oh, yeah. So, I did actually talk about that at the beginning. I was like, I love how ladies are in charge, but it's gonna prove that you need men too, or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So these women are like, hey, what happened to Natasha Henstridge? You guys remember Natasha Henstridge? She was in other stuff.
I mean, I think my adolescent
Species?
boy body
She
does.
was
Like,
yeah,
but
yeah. I think my adolescent lady body
Yeah.
remembers her.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm the only survivor on this train, and I'm gonna tell you what happened. So what I remember is we were sent out to this outpost in Mars, and then we start seeing her story.
And they also imply that like she just like woke up on the train and she was handcuffed. You're like, okay, what? And the only one that came back. And then a bunch of people like, so they're all just gonna die, okay?
No, yeah, no, literally, you're
I'm
like,
invested.
oh, she's telling this story, and we're watching the movie, so everyone's gonna die. We know everyone's gonna die. Cool. Okay, sure. Let's get this
invested,
started.
I guess.
So she is a police officer, and police officers are all. No, they're not all women, but all the people in command are women.
Right, should be.
Yeah, exactly.
Jason Statham's character is a
John
sergeant. but-
Carpenter, a very forward-thinking guy.
Yeah, so also, if we didn't mention it, but we're going to mention it again multiple times, John Carpenter did the music in this movie, and it's like dubstep like some toxic metal. Like, it was real,
Wow.
yeah.
I think he like heard Blade Runner, but he was like really coked up.
No. Blade Runner, and he had seen The Matrix. And
But-
he was
but
like,
he
let's
only-
put them
He
together.
only had like a meaty chiptune mix.
This came after The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
2
Holy
years.
shit.
2 years after The
Why?
Matrix.
Yeah.
The Matrix was like 1,000 times better.
Just so
than
you
Zombie.
understand, the reason he's so upset is because the special effects in this movie and
What?
the production value of this
It
movie,
looks like a stage play.
it looks
What
like
the fuck?
a stage play that was filmed just with
Yeah.
a VCR
Back in high school.
in
Yeah,
1990.
high school built
It
this
looks
up.
like it was filmed in like 1987.
I actually thought this was like '94. I was like, oh, like I see it's like just his first role or something. He's like just did Bop Gun or something, and they're having it in a movie. Cool, let's do this.
A little bit.
You know,
So yeah, so they're on a train.
but it's not that. It's
It's,
2001.
This was
Natasha-
after The Matrix.
What was
we were
Natasha
like
Henstridge?
graduating
What?
college. We were seniors in college.
Holy
2001,
shit.
honey.
Why?
2001.
This movie was shit, dudes.
It just shows you how much money he was able to get for his original movie. So, Natasha Henstridge's character,
Lieutenant Ballard.
Lieutenant Ballard.
By the way, Natasha Henstridge is the Katie Sackhoff of her time. Can we say that?
Yeah, sure. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blonde,
So,
beautiful.
she's the second in command in this envoy, and they're going on this, they call it it's literally the Trans-Marinera. The Trans-Marinera.
Marinara. Yeah. That's like, are they making
Because they
fun
go
of it?
across Mars, they go around Mars, I guess.
I just like rubbed my eyes at this point in the movie. I'm like, okay.
So the Trans-Marinera sauce train is going across Mars, and they're going to pick
For the
up.
record, guys, there is a region on Mars called Marianas,
Mm-hmm.
which for some reason they just didn't get, maybe, or they just had to mispronounce on purpose. I mean, I don't think it was a joke because there weren't really jokes in this, but like there's just
Nothing was funny at all in this movie.
There were a lot of jokes, but
Oof.
I don't know. There's no jokes in this movie. There's nothing that was funny. Like, every joke missed. Everyone.
Yeah, I will agree
You
with
remember
that.
laughing at anything?
No,
actually, like,
the weird demon guy's jokes are really good.
You mean the ghost? The ghost? We haven't even gotten there. Okay, so Pam Grier is shit. I don't remember her
she's
name.
the captain.
Foxy Brown.
Captain.
Foxy Brown.
She has
Captain Foxy Cleopatra is in charge, And she's like,
She has the
First of all,
wiggiest wig of all.
her
fucking
wig.
time.
Was Pam Grier
Her wig was horrible.
Often was wigs. That's fine.
I love Pam Grier. Her
Like-
wig looks like
Like
garbage.
the wig looked like.
She looked
straight
better
badass.
in Mars Attacks.
Like I was
we
like
will agree.
excited for Pam Grier in this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't wait to see what this character does.
She looks better in Mars Attacks. I'm just saying. We'll
Which
burn
way-
that one too. We'll burn
but
it.
also
we'll
in
burn
any
it.
other movie she's
Yeah,
in.
she looks great. But she's in charge. She's the captain. And she's talking to Natasha Henstridge, who's number 2.
And there's a baby Statham.
And they
named
have- yeah.
Jericho.
So they have,
Named
yeah,
Jericho.
they have a newbie, a woman, Clea Duvall's character. Who,
It was like she's never held a gun. I think.
yeah,
maybe?
like ever, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think she's just like her character trait was like when she looks at a call sheet, it's like, oh, I'm catatonic.
Yeah.
Like, that's all she is. The whole thing.
Also, she's talking to Natasha Henstridge's lieutenant character,
Yeah.
which I should have wrote down the name.
Ballard.
Ballard, Lieutenant Ballard, and Lieutenant Ballard's just like taking fucking drugs there. Like,
Oh,
so-
yeah, no. So she had taken her,
It's a little pill, like to go to sleep on a train.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna sleep
and it
on a
makes her
train.
feel like it's the ocean
Yeah,
or whatever,
she's like,
you know?
She's like tripping fucking billies.
Her
when they're-
little pendant like does a little googly move.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's like tripping billies.
But
and-
also, apparently, it's a thing that like women in charge like to hit on the younger women,
just like guys.
Yeah, like
because some of the guys are also breeders too.
yeah, exactly. The men are breeders, but the women are like, hey, if you want to get ahead, you're gonna give me some sexual favors.
head.
Because women are just like men, you guys.
Yeah.
They love giving
Guys,
sexual
again-
favors to
again,
let women move ahead.
Forward thinking. It's forward thinking.
So forward.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the prisoner though? Because we're gonna get to him, and he's.
I mean, we're not there yet. Let's
We're
not.
not there
skip
yet,
ahead.
I think we're
So
close.
they're
actually,
also on the train
Because
with.
we also have Baby Statham,
Yeah.
Jericho,
Yeah.
super pervert,
Sergeant Jericho.
super pervert.
By the way, these names are written.
He's like,
Numerous.
listen, ma'am, guess what? I have a dick and I want
We
to
wanna-
fuck you
yeah,
with it.
you
Because
know
I
what,
have
like,
a
baby, we have some
giant
fucking
male
moves.
dick that's
Oh,
not like a
penis.
vagina. It's
It's
a
like,
hey, baby,
penis.
I'm gonna
Like
keep hitting
this.
on you. Like every chance I get.
Literally every single scene, he's like,
Okay.
hey, don't you want me to put it inside of you? And she's like,
we're about to get murdered by
Yeah.
demon people. What are you doing?
Like, first
What
of
are
all,
you doing?
We're on like a real mission here, like a serious, important mission, dude. Like, can you?
I'm like, literally, it's all foobar.
Just
Like,
like-
nothing is
Yeah,
going
yeah,
right,
yeah.
and you want to just,
But it-
hey, but what about if we fuck a little bit, like
Yeah.
a little
Dude.
bit, and so and that's
Dude,
all?
but
I'm like,
even
okay,
before that, they're just like walking, like scanning
Yeah.
a perimeter, and he's like, "Hey, by the
Putting
way,
the
it's nice
poppycock,
and quiet
like,
here. You
what
wanted me
the
to stick
fuck?
the poppycock in you?" And he's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
"She's like, we're doing our job. Like, can
Yeah.
you calm down?"
Jesus Christ!
so
how did you get
basically,
accredited?
the captain is like, hey, let's see how our newbies go. There's 2 idiot dudes
Yeah.
here and a new lady.
I'm a dude.
yeah, no.
Remember that dude's name? I
And the
don't know.
best part about
I
the
have it
scene is
written
that
down
they're
somewhere.
all on a train together, like in the barracks, and they can clearly hear you talking about them behind them. Like,
Oh.
yeah,
Braddock, by the way, is Pam Grier. She's Commander Braddock.
yeah, Commander Braddock.
That's
So,
the brag
Commander,
of
thank you.
Commander
So,
McBride.
I wrote
so
this down later.
she hits on Natasha Henstridge, Lieutenant Ballard.
For no
Lieutenant
reason.
Ballard does
DeCanzo,
her.
by the way, is the
yeah.
other dude. DeCanzo.
DeCanzo.
Okay.
Oh, Descanso.
Yeah.
He kills it. Like we
Yeah.
give Descanso
Like,
some props.
like you
yeah.
can tell, like they gave him like a very Italian backstory.
Yeah.
So you eating the marinara during it. Like, oh, I'm
The
the marinara
trans marinara,
yeah,
trans- yeah.
He
He
was
was
like,
like-
pasta mazzola.
He was like the most milquetoast white guy. Like,
they're just like,
Pasta
just,
fagioli.
like they like had him. Like he's like John Carpenter's brother or something.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm here.
His
Like,
nephew.
yeah,
His nephew.
Just
He's
he's like, you have a
He's like-
very strong jaw. Would you like to be in my movie?
He's like, just don't do anything. Just
So-
stand there and like, and maybe get your arm cut off and then shoot a gun.
So they show up on Mars, and there is a train conductor and like his assistant. There's those 2 guys too.
He's like the surliest motherfucker ever,
Yeah.
and I love him. He was
Yeah.
my favorite character. Like, I'm not going fucking anywhere. Fuck you. Like, it's a train. You gotta go one way or another. He's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do it, son of a bitch.
So the train tells them they're like, we have to go to the next place, but we're gonna come back. Basically, that's what
I
they say.
hate this, by the way. Oh, this is when they mentioned they're talking about whether they're going there to meet up with James Williams. What's James?
Desolation. Desolation.
Yeah, so she's telling them about you guys.
Cumbersome.
So their job here is that they're gonna go. They're gonna take this guy into custody and bring
Just
him
desolation.
back
He's a very
for
bad
his
dude,
trial.
I guess.
because
So
he
bad.
murdered a bunch of people
cut their
at
heads
another
off.
station.
guess.
And
Yeah,
cut their heads off.
yeah.
I guess.
And cut their heads
Even
off.
though before that, the only thing he's done is like rob somebody.
But he also cut their heads off,
Sure
which
he
comes
did.
back in seconds. Like, you're like, oh, okay. And like, we walk into the first building we came into, and this.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
No,
But
we're
let's
there.
keep moving
We're
forward.
there.
So not yet. We're almost there. So,
Yeah, this turnaround time, by the way, is 4 hours.
Yeah, so...
What the
They've got
fuck
4
is going
hours.
on with this track? Like,
Yeah, they've got 4
They
hours.
do not know how to make a train track or a
Yeah.
turntable,
Yeah.
guys. Like, they don't have a turntable.
They don't have a turntable. So they go in and again, like we were talking about, Jericho's just hitting on Ballard like strong, and so she says back to him, she goes, "I would probably fuck you if you were the last man on Earth, but we're not on
Too bad we're
Earth.
not.
Oh, sick.
We're
word.
on
Sick.
Mars."
Look at guys,
Yeah.
cops in the future get fucking
And what does he
dope-ass
do?
leather jackets,
Yeah.
and it's great.
What
All
does
of
he-
them.
Oh.
And they're all different.
Yeah.
They
What
have
is-
like their own personal
Pam's got a
style.
duster
No,
going
yeah, I love
on,
it.
yeah,
I love
like-
it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Natasha Hendricks has like a double breast, but then it like cuts down, and then like the dudes are like more like
And they're all
motorcycle
different.
jackets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
It was amazing.
Custom leather jackets for
Yeah.
the police force.
Like,
Like,
I think they're own.
That's where some of the money went.
this is how we
to,
get
for
cops to
sure.
stop
Right.
beating people, guys. Custom
Yeah,
leather jackets. I'm just saying.
exactly.
Just putting that there.
So so they're on the planet, and she says, remember, because she's like, it would be really busy here, like this time of night during this
And then
day.
they like
at this
imagine
place.
a scene where
Yeah, no.
it's okay,
There's
weird.
so many of these
So
weird,
weird,
like,
I was like,
it's
why?
like a flashback, or it's like showing you what it would be.
Ooh,
and
here's
it's
a
like,
car going in this.
there's lots of people walking.
I am a
Yeah,
fishing
yeah.
pole on Mars.
Yeah,
And what's happening?
And there's
Like that.
prostitutes, and they're like, I have a vagina,
Like, this is
ooh,
weird.
and a
Like,
mouth, ooh. You're
why
like,
did any
okay,
of this
what?
happen?
I'm like, in perfect conditions. This is what the
Yeah.
place would
But
look
also, like,
okay.
they've established that this is their first time here.
Yeah.
So, like, why are we even seeing this? Why are we even seeing this? Thanks,
Yeah.
John Carpenter.
So,
Not many of us Brady's around. You're like, okay.
Russ?
yeah. So, you
I can't
guys,
see why.
they go into the, they all split up, and they're like, we're gonna hit the rec center, you're gonna hit the jail, these
And
other
the
people are gonna hit,
Frozen
yeah.
Yogurt Center, yeah.
And the frozen, and Froyo. They need some
You know,
Froyo.
if everyone's
So-
gone, I say split up your team. That's
Yeah,
what I
of
would
course.
say.
If it feels really weird there and you don't
You
see
should have less
anybody,
people
I
there.
totally think you
Right,
should
the
split
first thing
up.
you do is call this shit in, right? Like,
Right.
like this town is completely deserted.
Also,
Um,
can we talk about
The
yes.
radio usage, please.
So the first 10 minutes of them being in this town and realizing that nothing is right, they don't use their radios. Not fucking once. They're like, oh, leave and go find someone. No, you call them and you're like, do you notice some
Yeah.
shit is bad? Because we notice some
half,
shit is
half
bad.
the times they're using the
Bar.
radio, and there have the times they're like, somebody go find someone. I'm like, just use the fucking radio. You got the radio.
What?
Did you forget
Go
the
find
radio?
that other person. Walk to
You
them
have
and
a
find them.
radio.
Okay.
That's what radios are for.
Yeah. So they find a bunch of dead people. Some
Then,
of them,
again, this is why I thought this was in 1994 because I was like, oh, there's just no cell phone. They don't know what cell phones are. Yet.
they don't. Yeah,
They
they
don't
don't
get
have
it. They don't
radios,
get it. So,
right?
like, okay,
That's
they're
not a
just not gonna call
thing,
it.
right?
Like, it's
No.
the future. You-
2001.
Fuck.
And
2001.
plus, this is 2176. You think they would have made an invention in their film with like beep boop boop and like something
Oh,
happens.
there's Pam Grier's head. Like, I can see it now. Cool.
Yeah, or it's like implanted in them and they just speak into it because it's right there, right?
But no, it's not really that much different. They have different colored jackets, I guess.
Again, because they're on a stage in like Hollywood somewhere, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. So, you guys, they find a bunch of dead people. There's dead people at the jail. There's dead people at the rec center, and they're
Oh,
like,
guys, they find like an arm sticking out, like, oh no, and then they just like it just falls out and it's severed. I'm like, how was it
Yeah.
resting there in the first place? It was just that part of the arm.
But also, everything is
it
cut
was
with
like locked in, and
everything
everything.
is
Yeah.
cut with like the most perfect precision. It's like
Because they.
Oh, we haven't even gotten to it. We haven't even
Let's
gotten
talk about
to it.
this, guys.
Oh God,
We
no,
gotta
they
get
haven't
here.
gotten
Let's
attacked
get
yet.
here.
We don't know. We're not there yet. Okay, so
it's okay.
So they go back to the rec center, they find the other people, and the rec center there's just dead people hanging from the ceilings,
Yeah, all
beheaded.
headless. All headless.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that. But what else have they noticed? There's some like cool metal wind chimes hanging out
Yeah,
on the
they're
trees.
fun. They're
Like
fun.
these people, you know, they turn crazy and then they make
And they,
some
like,
really
action
good
shots.
art.
They have
Yeah,
action shots.
I
seriously,
think
yeah.
they have like a crafts time maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take the metal can.
It's like nails and forks and anything you can put
But
together.
what's nice is they also like stick part of that in their faces.
No, they do. They like, yeah, exactly. So they're like, what's going on? We gotta call back to the train. They can't get a hold of the
Now,
train.
this
They're
is where
stuck
we really
there.
get to know DeCanto, and by know him, I mean he says one thing, and then like you're like, this guy's gonna be the first guy to die, right?
No.
He's
He's
not.
not.
Somehow.
He's not. So
Also, there's like weird shit going on in this town, and like nobody's even scared.
No, they're not even like, they're just
not
like,
reacting.
what?
Like, no one
But
told them to react.
they do find some people in the jail cell, and one of them is a scientist.
Dr. Arlene Whitlock.
Yeah, Dr. Whitlock. And guess what? We get to see some dope weather balloon special effects
Guys.
right here.
Guys, this is the dumbest scene because she's like, I got there on a weather balloon.
Yeah.
And like, shows her, I'm like, okay, she's gonna land. The weather balloon explodes. That stunt person was killed.
Yeah.
Because they light it on fire.
It's on fire.
And then she's like, and then I was fine. And like, no, that's not the end of the story.
I look totally fine. Everything's
That's not the
fine.
end of the story. You exploded in this.
Also, was that filled with hydrogen? Like,
Yes. Also, why did you do that? We know at this point in the future that
Why?
hydrogen's not a good idea.
and you've had like
God damn it.
hundreds of years to develop a better
I
technology.
was still upset at this scene because I was like, the explosion. Then I'm like, oh, there's an explosion. And then it shows the stunt person light on fire.
Yeah, but you guys, the best part
And
is
then
that...
it just cut.
No, but first we get to watch the explosion like 4 times.
Yeah,
It's
from
like,
different
explosion,
angles. Like John Carpenter's like, set up all the cameras.
Explosion,
And then we're going to use them all 4 angles.
And this is when we finally get to see the black guy getting blamed for everything. Like, what the?
And like before this, they've like talked about like, oh, he's like a bad guy, man.
He's
bad.
murdered
He's
so many
accused of
people.
brutal murders. Okay.
He's Desolation. That's his nickname. Desolation. Desolation.
Like, Desolation is
Okay.
that's like a nickname from like
The
like
next
a-
1850s.
or like the
He's
1990s.
Sergeant Desolation Jones.
It reminds me of like Demolition Man.
That's why they're
Yeah,
Demolition Man.
Demolition
Again,
Man,
Demolition
The
Man, yeah.
90s,
Yeah.
guys. Like so, like this movie was written in the 90s, and then John Carpenter finally got to
Do you
do it
guys,
with
but who is
the
Demolition Jones? It's Ice Cube.
Yeah, by the way, we've been doing this movie for 23 fucking minutes at
Yeah.
this point.
And
And the
we
first
get-
build
And
actor
we get
now shows
our
up.
star.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
He probably was like, I
Okay.
gotta be the first build actor. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, sure.
And everyone was like, okay, who cares?
But then we see
It's because he put some of his own money into
his
the movie.
prison outfit.
Right?
Oh, no, they just brought him in with that. That's his outfit.
He's just wearing a muscle shirt, like a black.
It's a, no.
goddamn
No.
Muscle turtleneck.
It's a black suede. It's suede. I figured it out halfway through because it zipped up the back. Black
No.
suede
Why?
mock turtleneck
That's
muscle
what you wear
shirt.
200 years in the future.
I mean, that makes sense. It's
But
stupid.
do you guys remember what he had on the bottom too? Orange camouflage. The
Yeah.
only place you can
Yeah,
wear
Mars.
that? Mars.
Makes
Mars.
sense.
Yeah,
It's also
sure.
because he's in jail, guys.
Yeah.
In
This
jail, you wear the
turtleneck,
orange,
this sleeveless turtleneck does absolutely nothing for him.
Nothing
Like,
for
it's
his
not
body.
flattering.
the
It's
worst looking
terrible.
piece of clothing I've ever
It
seen.
makes it look like he's just a giant head that slopes down to some skinny arms.
Yeah, because he
And
has a
then-
weird
yeah.
shoulder set and he's got a giant
I mean,
head.
his arms are like pretty built.
Yeah, but it made him look so
but
weird.
The shirt doesn't make it look good.
No.
It makes it worse.
No,
It's
I agree,
terrible.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
We all, like, literally at the same time, we were like, what is he wearing?
Yeah.
Like, this is the worst ever.
I usually don't care about people's outfits in
So
movies.
and
because, like,
they go back in time to show his backstory of how he, like, what he did, and he's wearing a dope leather jacket, and you're like,
he gets it back.
let
Well,
him
she gets
keep the
back
leather
later. Yeah, she
jacket.
gets back later.
At the very okay.
Like they don't let him. They don't let him wear it in jail. Obviously, he had to like
Or
get it
for
back.
90% of the
They're like, you gotta look like
Or
a
for
dork in
90%.
jail.
You're in jail. You're obviously a dork.
You look like a dweeb.
Also, like in the first one, like he's just silent. He's
No,
like,
yeah, so he's silent and
He's
they're
like,
talking
he's
to
got
this
the
cage.
snarl.
But he goes, remember at one point he goes like this to the screen and you're like, is he giving, is he
Yeah, that's
fourth
the thing,
walling
like,
the
he-
finger
Was
to
he popping
everybody?
his zit? I don't
Yeah,
know.
like
Yeah.
it was like, what the fuck
There's
is
some
going on
weird
there?
direction in his acting.
Sure, okay.
Maybe he was one take. Maybe they're like, he's like, I'll only do one take, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, just whatever.
So you guys, we have to talk about the music in this
Yeah, we
movie.
do.
It's fucking amazing. So we go between like bum 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 bum
This is literally what it sounds like if you just like.
Okay.
and you're like,
If you take a synthesizer and just drop your balls on it a bunch of times, this is what the music sounds like.
yeah.
It's
But then there's like
The music is very off-putting.
It's disturbing. Yeah. Like I'm trying.
I'd rather this movie have no
Um,
music.
Like if you were describing it,
So-
if you need one word to describe music, I would say trouble.
So Commander Braddock and
That's the bride of
it's-
Commander.
yeah, it's
My bride.
confusing. Commander Braddock and Lieutenant Ballard go out to like find who's in charge and see what's going on here. Like clearly there's some crazy shit going on. And so they leave and they find like an all-terrain vehicle with a guy inside And he clearly looks messed up. Like, he
He's
doesn't
distressed.
look good.
And
Yeah.
this is where we get to see some cool ghost cam guys.
Cool. Yeah. So,
That looks like shit.
Yeah.
Dude. Like,
No, it's like the Evil
it's
Dead.
from like the late
Yeah,
70s.
It's like
Oh,
from
no,
the fucking
it's
Evil Dead.
100%
That's
like
again,
Evil Dead,
another
yeah.
reason I thought this was from the 90s. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, okay, this is just 90s.
like a
So-
low budget 90s.
yeah.
That movie is
And it's,
So, so this guy is in this all-terrain vehicle, and clearly he's saying, "Don't come in," because he's locked himself in. He's like, "Don't come in. It's in here with me. You
because
need to
the
stay
ghosts
away."
cannot go through
Solid
walls or anything.
walls. Yeah, they
Anything.
can't go through. They're like
They
dust.
can't go under doors
dust
either, I
in the
guess.
wind.
I mean, it's just like spores. I
Dust
think
in
they're
the
spores.
wind. Spores, yeah.
Yeah,
Spores is a
spores,
good.
yeah.
So, and you see this third-party camera footage that's like red and black, and it's like
Yeah,
creepy
and it's just,
music.
and
Like,
it's
I'm
it's
moving
off-putting.
toward you or not, or whatever. So but of course, they're dumb police officers, because apparently police officers in this are idiots. They're like, we should go in there. It's like, don't come in, but we should go in. So they go to try to open the door, but she literally, like, lasers it so they can't get into the...
I was like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is she doing?
I thought she was trying to
What the-
shoot the door so it could open, but
Yeah.
she shot it so it was inoperable, basically.
Yeah, and this just is
Yeah,
like, oh,
you
you can't
literally
be able to
can't,
destroy
yeah.
now.
And then you also notice
Maybe
there's,
she
like...
rolled a bad roll. It was a bad,
Yes.
bad deck
I
roll.
rolled
Yeah.
to unlock it, like, you roll a 1. Like, you zap it, it melts.
And no one gets in ever again.
Okay.
And it never comes back into play ever again either. So,
It does
so,
not. You're right.
so, Ballard's like, well, I'm gonna go get someone else because we clearly need more people out here. We need to get this open to save this one person. And Braddock's
Which,
like,
by the way, like, what?
why? What? No.
What?
You need to find who's in charge.
Get the fuck out of there.
Seriously,
Also,
yeah.
just leave.
No, yeah,
Just
it's
leave.
wrong. It's wrong. You said it was
Like,
wrong.
you've
from
already
beginning.
found the guy
Yeah.
you're looking for.
Yeah.
Get the
Get
fuck out
leave,
of there.
leave. So,
This movie would have been like 10 minutes long if I had been in
Oh, I
charge.
know,
So I'd be
I
like,
know.
let's get the fuck out of here.
I know. No,
I don't
literally,
care about anything
every
else.
single one of
I'll
the
call you.
scenes where they're like this angle and then this angle and then this angle.
I'm
I'm
gonna
just
look
like,
at all the murder people. Like,
Hey,
no, fuck
Objective
that.
achieved. Get the fuck out of here.
no, yeah,
Worse.
this is probably where we can address it. I love when they're like, they show something that happened to one character and then they come back to the next character and they're like, where were you? And they're like, let me tell you what happened for the past 20 minutes. And you're like, okay, I get to see then another 20 minutes of
Yeah.
the same thing.
Some of the flashbacks were like
Awesome.
literally 5 minutes
Redundant.
before that.
Yeah.
Also redundant. You're like,
Yeah.
this is redundant.
Like, I don't give a shit what happened to you off screen.
Like, you watch-
You're where you
watch
are now.
Jason Statham sneak up, and then he's like, "Let me tell you about me sneaking up," and then they show him
Yeah,
sneak
I
up
love that
again.
movie.
I did enjoy it.
Sounds
I
familiar.
Then
did
they
enjoy
show
it.
him sneak
But
up
anyway,
one more time. And I'm
So
like,
Braddock gets separated, you guys, because amazingly, even though she's supposed to be like the badass commander in charge, she's like,
and
I
she's
hear
going for
weird stuff.
conservatively
What should we do? And
5
just
minutes.
walks
less, or
off.
less.
This just walks off.
No, by herself. John Carpenter wrote that.
It's John Carpenter's music. So, yeah, so she just literally, she walks off. She's like, she hears something and do you know what she says in the scene, too? I love, the lines are great. They're written by the computer named John Carpenter. She goes, who goes there? And I'm like,
Yes!
what?
Who
says
goes
that?
there?
Goes there.
What the fuck?
Hey, listen, maybe
What
it came.
the fuck?
Here's what, no. It's 2176. Maybe this came back
It
It
came
came
around.
back
around.
around.
It's like it's
Yeah,
back
it's
around.
yeah, it's like it's secular,
Yeah.
cyclical. It's cyclical.
I'm gonna go to the outhouse
So,
now. That's what we
yeah.
call ours. Futuristic.
So yeah, so we
This
finally Ice Cube gets
Ay,
out.
ay, ay.
You guys, Ice Cube gets
Yeah,
out,
Desolation
and he's
gets out.
got Desolation gets out,
Yeah,
and he's
Desolation,
got
yeah.
Clea Duvall's character. I don't know her character's
Useless. I think
name.
her
Useless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Private useless.
Why are
Private
you here?
useless, yeah. And he's got her, and he's got like a knife in her throat, and he's like, "You're gonna let me go," because you guys, he knows what happened before. Supposedly, he was like at fault for it, but also he knows, and they're trying to figure out what happened.
I'm innocent. Now I'm gonna hold this person at knife.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
okay, well,
No, but
It's like,
here's
trade me for
oh my
her.
god, no,
Trade
here's
me
where
for
she's
her. I'm
like,
you are useful.
she's like,
she is useless.
I'm the
Let her
second
die.
in command,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna give my life for a newbie because
'Cause she's a hero.
a
Who's
newbie
also,
can't.
like,
Yeah,
the worst.
fresh meat can't do.
No,
this,
no.
Who's literally proven herself
She's not
to be
just
terrible.
a newbie. She is inept. Like
Yeah.
Name someone worse than her in this movie. You can't.
if she was gonna live after this, she
No.
would have fired.
Even the like
The weird old guy that's
no,
sitting
I
in
was
the back
gonna
of the
say
cell.
like
He's not his
the
friend.
townspeople that they deputize
Yeah, yeah.
are better than the
Yeah,
Shia.
no,
Yeah,
I agree.
alright, so there's old guy, other old guy, Tits McGee. Those are the-
yeah.
Like, I have boobies. That's my character
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, okay, well, that's great.
So, but you guys, while this is happening, Sergeant Jericho or Private Jericho or whatever his,
Sergeant,
officer
Jericho.
Yeah. Okay.
He's
He's off looking for
Space
the commander,
Oh.
and he sees a weird person come running out carrying something.
And it's like the scene goes on for like way too fucking long. Where he's like taking this, and also you can tell it's a head almost immediately.
No, you know immediately that it's
like,
her head.
What did I have?
You know why? Because they took
Jason
her
Seitham.
same terrible wig and they put it on the
that
fake
wig
head.
was definitely fucking there.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
Also, we know Jason's have a good fight. Watch Transporter. Like, no good fight scenes for this guy.
Seriously.
No,
Seriously.
they gave him
Although
that
later in the movie, the fight scenes aren't that terrible.
No,
we'll just say. So it's like,
I'm gonna say you're wrong about that. They're fucking horrible.
No, we'll get
There's so much stuff going on that it's like I don't get anything.
So anyway, but yeah, Sergeant Jericho realizes that they have murdered the commander, totally off screen. We didn't see the scene. I'm sure they filmed it and cut it, which is dumb because I want more Pam Grier. But okay, whatever. So
was she doing this as a favor? Like what?
Yeah,
the
seriously.
Fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I have other things to do, so I
Also, Sergeant
kill me
Jericho
off.
watches this legit for a long time and does nothing. He doesn't do anything.
No, he could have
He doesn't pop that thing.
He has to fucking
pop
murder
that
them.
evil, whatever the
He has
fuck
to
that
murder
thing
cop
is.
gun.
Yeah.
No, he follows it, and that's when we find out that guess what? Martians are metal.
Yeah, we got fucking. we got Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah, like fucking muscle Marilyn Manson over there. Like,
Yeah, like-
okay, dude. Okay.
Ah.
He's basically strong mad, but as a goth.
So it's a bunch of white people, and they're all like they've like cut into their face, or they've painted their face, or they've stuck metal into their face, and
Or
they're
wearing
like,
a face.
or they're wearing a face that you find out you're like, oh, that's why there's metal in the face because they're wearing the face, and they are metal as fuck, and they're like, we're gonna murder, except in their language, their weird Martian language, they're like, blah, blah.
So this language makes no
So by the way,
sense.
is this like the Martian culture? They were just like they killed everyone.
Yeah, they just murder.
Doesn't
they
make
just
any-
murder.
Well, they're
I guess it's not
murdering.
when they're not around.
They murder anyone they think is a threat to them. They think
feel
say
it's a
it.
threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're the Martians. They're like, you shouldn't be here. You're
But also
threatening us.
possessing
They're like a
But we're
smoky creature,
gonna take over your body to murder
with
each
like
other.
like a comically purple mist.
Yeah.
Like a very comically colored
So
mist.
at this point is where I went. We don't need to go back in time anymore in this
No,
movie,
please
please,
stop. Yeah, please stop.
because this movie could have been so much
Stop,
shorter.
stop it. We're already
Could have
dead.
been so much shorter. Please, we don't want to do that. So
Which, by the way, this movie is not long. It's only
Yeah.
an hour and 22 minutes.
no, I know, but
it is
still,
short, but it feels like
forever. Feels like
Forever.
forever. He does come back.
But he
Jericho
brings
comes
some
back and he brings
friends.
some guys. They're like monks, or they worked at the.
They're miners. They're
They
miners.
worked at the mine.
They're
They worked
miners,
at the mine, right? But guess what?
No weapons.
Turns out-
they told him that they have no weapons.
Yeah, but they're wearing these long robes because it turns out
They
they're
have a lot of weapons.
they're demolitions dudes. Yeah, they have all the weapons.
They totally desolation.
Demolition. Whatever.
Demolition men. They're demolition men.
They're
Or desolation?
Desolation's friends, and they're like,
Determination.
we're breaking him out
Determination
of jail,
Williams.
I guess.
What if he?
Determination.
What if he turns his life around, becomes positive, turns into determination?
That's for the
Determination.
sequel, guys.
Yeah.
Ghost of Mars.
Okay.
John Carpenter's
Fair
The
enough.
Ghost of Mars too. Yeah.
Determination.
Like guys, I'm here to
public
tell you,
speaking now.
you
Yeah.
can be better.
Yeah.
You can be better than all the
only
Martians.
$99.99. You
Yeah.
can buy my album. You can buy my.
This is my TED Talk, you
units.
guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe this
So-
is TED Talks now. Holy
Yeah.
shit, guys!
Yeah, yeah.
So it'd be John Talks.
We
right?
wrote a better
It's John
sequel.
Carpenter.
It'd be Desolation Talks.
So, Desolation's friends are there. Do you remember what their names are?
I did not write this.
Uno,
shit.
One, Uno,
Oh, yeah,
Dos, and
they're-
Tres.
Dose
Tres.
and Trace.
First of all,
Also, like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Also, literally,
Fuck you,
those
friend.
are their names.
Like, fuck you,
literally,
Yeah, and the
those are
credits.
their names.
That's what the credits.
Yeah. those
By
are
the
their
way,
names.
one of the guys played by Lobo Sebastian.
Yes.
By the way, they're all people of color.
Lobo
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian.
So also that's troubling. Like,
Mhm.
we're all the criminals, people of color, and I'm like John Carpenter.
by the way,
man?
Lobo Sebastian's first, biggest credit is John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars.
Yeah.
And his only other credit is John Carpenter's Ghost.
I guess he was a stuntman before.
No, I feel like he was on Weeds.
No, he did a couple things.
I think he was on Weeds.
Weeds.
Yeah.
No, I'm 100% sure he was one of the drug dealers.
He also
Weeds.
has a couple credits for doing stuff for Conan O'Brien's show.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I could see it. So, but one of the great lines is Jason Statham's like, listen, I know these guys are scumbags, and this guy's supposedly a murderer, but we literally all need, we literally all need to get off of this planet together.
That's great.
Yeah.
So,
and the guy goes, "Who you calling scumbags, motherfucker?" And I was like, right? But it's true, right? Aren't you all just scumbags? You're all just a bunch of scumbags, right? Scallywags. So the next great scene is they're like, take us to Desolation, right? So they take him. Oh my God!
No, wait.
They take him down to Desolation.
No, before we do this.
Oh God!
Before we do this, one of the things from Uno Dos Tres. Uno, when Natasha's having a fight with him, he goes, "I will cut your fucking titties off."
Yeah, he does. I'll cut your titties off. Titties!
You know, I mean, that's
God damn it, man!
That's legit one of my, like, many nightmare fears.
Yeah.
Also,
it's like,
can we talk about the
anything
drug
I can do with my nipples, like,
Can we talk about the drug that Trace is taking this whole, like, for, like, most of this until he dies?
And then there's like, he's taking drugs. He's taking drugs. It's cool.
Yeah. We haven't even gotten there yet, you guys. No. So they get down, they find Desolation, right? And this is the best part. So the whole time they're down there, these two guys have their guns on the officers, right? And I'm like, oh, they're gonna make them get inside of the cell. But no! These fucking idiots all go inside the cell to see their friend, and then she just fucking locks it back up.
So I was like, what?
Are you the stupidest
and he's like, I'll shoot your fucking face off,
ever.
and she's like, well, then you can't get out.
Yeah, seriously.
I was confused. I was like, why? Are we, what? Why?
It was a lot of, like, people being dumb and then getting fooled by dumb things. Like, it was like, okay.
It's supposed to be like the demon Martian guys,
yeah.
but I was just like, also, they're just the regular characters.
No, yeah, they're all idiots. So she basically, what I love too is that they're, like, Jericho's like, we're all gonna have to work together, and the guys are like, we're gonna have to work together. And she's like, we're not gonna work together, but then she gets them in the cell, and then she's like, listen, we're gonna have to work together, and they're like, okay, lady, we already said that, but now we're agreeing with you.
It's like, hey, we gotta work with her. He's like, I give you my word, we'll work. And it's like, oh, I would take that guy's word. Like,
that guy just like stole your gun a scene ago.
And he's like a big time criminal. Like
during this scene, he stole your weapon.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's good enough. I'm like,
so, but yeah, so, it's Uno, Dos, or Tres decides that while they're getting ready, so they all decide, everyone who's there who's not possessed by the ghosts.
Uno is the tall black guy.
Okay, so Dos.
Dos is the weird,
Hispanic dude?
Maybe Native American.
Native American. Okay, Dos is the Native American. Trace is the Hispanic dude.
Is Lobo Sebastian.
So, yeah, Lobo Sebastian Trace is the one who was 100% in weeds. I remember. Okay. He was definitely there.
Okay, hey, we got you. We believe you.
So, but anyway.
Guys, if you need a weeds trivia team, right here.
Seriously. I love her, Mary Louise Parker.
Let's keep moving.
Okay, so anyway, so Trace is like, hey, everyone here is getting deputized. We're all gonna fight against these Martian ghosts to get back on the train, like, save ourselves. And he's like, guess what I'm gonna do? Like, hardcore drugs
and everyone's like,
while we're all getting ready.
He's cool.
It's fine. Just let him do it. It's totally cool.
Since we're showing this, it's obviously not cool.
But also, he has not shown any signs of intoxication or inebriation.
I mean, but he is Hispanic, obviously.
But then once this drug thing starts happening, literally every scene after this, he is doing drugs.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, man, like, you gotta fucking do shit now. Like,
cool,
keep doing drugs. Like,
yeah.
that's not how drugs work.
There's actually one scene where he just cuts his fucking thumb off.
Yeah, so
while he's doing drugs, though.
What the fuck?
He takes this inhaler of this drug that he's
like
taking.
got it in his mouth.
Yeah. And he's like, she's trying to get, one of the women is trying to get the can. Yeah, one of the women is trying to get a can open of food, and she can't get it open. And he's like,
you see him put his thumb there. He's
He's got like a machete, and he's like, I'll cut this for you.
He's like, I'll show you how to do it.
Please don't cut your thumb. He's gonna cut his thumb.
This is like a joke. This is like a gag thing.
No, and that's like one of the jokes. That's like, this is not funny. Like, it's
Look at
not...
this dumb Hispanic
What
cut
the
his
fuck?
thumb off. What a dumb Hispanic.
So then, and then in the next scene, they're getting ready to go fucking have a gunfight,
Yeah.
and he has no fucking thumb.
No, she goes, "Are you okay to do this?" And he's like, "Yep." And it's like, he's
You have no thumb!
His thumb is currently wrapped up in, like, gauze?
Yeah.
Like, that's not a thing.
Like, he can't
No,
hold
they
anything
didn't
fucking
even
guy.
try- no,
He's
they-
just useless.
They didn't even try to put it back on, they just wrapped it, but you have no fucking opposable thing.
Yeah.
Use any
can't
of your
hold
other
anything.
fingers, you can cut them off, but you have no opposable goddamn...
Okay, great joke for you. They give him, like, a little package, but his thumb's in some rice. Great joke. I was like, where's this joke? There's
No
like a
joke's
joke
landed,
here.
dude. No
Yeah,
joke's
nothing,
landed.
nothing.
No,
There's
he's just
nothing.
holding a gun like this.
Like, oh, we got your thumb preserved for you or something. Like
God.
some salt or something. Like,
Oh
okay,
my
cool. That's a funny
God.
joke. They didn't do it. I was like, okay,
Oh
cool.
my
This is why
god.
I was like, I don't like
So
John
you guys,
Carpenter. I think I just don't like John
In
Carpenter.
the next
Also,
scene...
still hitting laughter.
In the next scene, they get invaded by the ghosts of Mars. So we haven't really explained what the ghosts of Mars are because it kind
I
of
like you
comes to
saying
you
the
in
word
like
ghosts. Can you
the
say
ghosts,
the word
the ghosts of
Ghosts.
Mars,
Scary
the ghosts
The
of
two
Mars.
words.
Scary
It's the
ghosts.
ghosts of Mars.
Why am I
So-
dripping with goo?
Why am I dripping with goo? So yeah, the ghosts of Mars are basically, and we get to it later. Because this movie takes so long to explain it. Because
They were
the
trapped in his
scientist-
mind.
Yeah, the scientists literally won't tell you. Like, you find out later. But basically,
Yeah,
it's this spore. It's
Arlene
this
Whitlock
spore.
tells
Right.
you this her
She
secrets.
explains, yeah.
Her
But
secrets.
there's this spore that basically, it's like something that they released.
It's a sentient.
In
What's it
Mars.
not say spore? We're just assuming it's a
Yeah,
spore.
and it's some sort
It's
of
a sentient
being.
gas, like
Yeah.
smoky creature.
Well, and they explained it as like, in puddles, there are microbes that will live, but
Yeah.
then when they dry
Yeah.
out, they go in
It made
dormant.
no
But then
fucking
when
sense.
there's moisture again, they come back to life.
But
and
also,
so,
we see, like, it's not like, oh, this is what was on Mars. No, they show you the full entity later,
Yeah.
and it's like a weird lizard dude.
yeah.
He looks like a fucking Battletoad. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the
Well,
fuck is a Battletoad?
no. I think what they were saying is like that was their previous body,
No, all of that is
but like their
bullshit.
souls
It was
lived.
so dumb.
Garbage.
It's
It was dumb.
Garbage.
It's a
All this is garbage.
Might be.
And I hate it.
So they find this like door in the
Yeah.
mine, like
And it's
like,
so dumb.
and they're like, it couldn't have been made by man. Like, why?
Oh my God.
It's just a fucking.
Okay, so we're not
square
even there in
door.
the movie, but we're jumping ahead. It's fine. So they're
No,
like,
let's keep going.
no,
Let's keep
man
going.
made
Keep
this, and it
moving.
was
We
like,
don't need to
please.
explain every plot point.
So-
We're almost done with this. Like,
but Descanso died.
yeah,
So
let's get to
you
that.
guys,
Let's get to that point.
they get taken over
That man
by.
wants a firefight!
They get taken over by these Martians, yeah, and we find out what the Martians love to kill with. What's their favorite weapon, you guys?
Just like
It's
some
the
weird
Python
like a
of
CD.
murder.
Like it's like a CD.
It's
No,
like
it's
literally,
like- It is literally, guys. I've seen this before.
Yeah.
It's literally the
You've
saw
seen
from
it
a circular
before.
saw.
yeah.
It's
It's
saw
a
from
circular saw
Yeah.
that they just throw
like a
and
frisbee.
fucking cut
Guys,
people's
these guys
heads
would have
off.
a fucking great ultimate team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're like awesome. at
Their
throwing this.
accuracy is 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they either miss you or they cut your head off.
No,
That's all they do.
yeah, it's either here or it's like literally your
Like
head, or
through
like
your throat
your
and your
arm
head's
is
gone.
Or
just
a body
completely
part
gone.
is
You're
gone.
like, whoa.
Yeah.
So we get to Descanso.
Which
and you
is
guys, Descanso, we remember when we first saw him, we're like, he's gonna die first. This fucking pussy. He's gonna, look at this guy. And then you see him and you're like,
Pussies are tough.
Descanso?
He's not-
Yeah, Descanso is a pussy, because he fucking,
tough.
he
Takes a pounding.
took, and his arm came off, and he just kept shooting.
Okay, and like this was directed by someone.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, your arm is off, and then you just look at it and you keep firing.
But even
Yeah.
before
What?
this, like in the scene, he is murdering. He's just
Yeah,
mowing
yeah.
these guys down. I'm
Yeah.
like, shit, dude. Like this guy's the shit.
Okay.
And this guy didn't hit on anyone. He was
Yeah,
just
also
like,
like asexual.
Yeah,
Like, he has
yeah.
no penis probably.
Yeah.
He's like a vampire from the Stranger.
He also barely has vocal cords because he had like one line.
yeah, right.
Uh,
but Descanso was the real hero of this
So
story.
he
is
gets his
what we're
arm cut
trying to
off,
say.
and you're like, "Oh shit, he's down." And he's like, "Nope, still got
fire.
But then he was taken out right
Yeah,
before
right
they
in the
all
neck.
just right off,
Syphilis on the
head
neck.
right off. Yeah.
syphilis on the neck.
But you guys, they get inside, and so Trace was gone by now, right? Didn't Trace get taken out?
Uno was dead.
Uno gets taken out, right?
quick.
Trace gets taken out.
Yeah, Trace dies first.
Yeah, and then but
Uno
here,
gets possessed and then is left.
oh right,
And then Dose is
And that's-
dying.
They drag it
Oh,
in.
and
They drag it
Uno
in.
is Desolation's brother. We found.
Yeah,
Yes.
we find out.
Which like okay.
What?
And his
They're
name
two
was
black
Uno,
people.
but his name
They're
was
related.
Uno, and they were Dose and Trace.
But
Really?
his name
And
was
then
James.
Desolation.
But also,
James
no, his name was
Desolation
James.
Williams.
Is it James and
So,
Uno?
What the
His
fuck?
real name was Uno. So his parents named him
Uno
James
Williams. Uno Williams. Yeah.
and Uno.
James and Uno.
And then just happened those other guys were doing
What the fuck, man?
I'm glad we all met here, guys.
So anyway, yeah.
I
So
fucking hate
Dose.
this movie. I
So
fucking
we
hate this
see
movie.
Descanso dies, and then Dose comes in. Here's the best part, though. They drag Dose in, and he's like dying.
Oh, I didn't
And he's
understand
like,
this, so stupid.
"Where's Uno?" And he's like, "Uno became one of them." And he's like, "That sucks, man." And then he just dies. He's like,
No.
"Oh no!"
That's how I should have
And then he
perfect
just
scene to
dies.
die.
Yeah. R.I.P. Dose. R.I.P. Descanso. Then we get our flashback where they find the square tunnel and they find the red dust that So basically, if
No
the
man
dust.
to the part of that.
So here's what happens.
I think it's red.
So here's what happens. The red dust goes
Like
into like
Mars.
your ear, and you go,
Or your
and then-
nose, sometimes your nose.
or your nose, and
But
then you
wait,
get.
does that mean it can go in any orifice?
It could go in your butthole. Yeah. It could.
It's like the fox, the
Like a
demon
butterfly,
fox.
or like a butterfly.
Yeah, or the butterfly, right. So it goes inside you, and there's like a period where you just kind of like it slowly takes you over and you like rip into your skin and you're like, I'm becoming this thing. And then you just become metal.
You also find out
Yeah.
Dr. Whitlock opened this cage.
She
And then,
opened it.
outran the mist.
Yeah.
Of the murder
Somehow.
mist.
Somehow.
Somehow.
She was so pissed
Yeah.
about that, where she's like, how did she not get infected?
No.
Like, everyone else
I
is
know.
infected, and she got
I
away
know.
with it. How the fuck did
No,
come
I
on,
know.
Jamie.
On her weather balloon.
I get it. But
Up
also,
and
part of-
away in my
part of me
weather,
thought, like, they were gonna-
weather balloon.
Okay. Part of me thought.
It's a song.
oh, okay.
Part of me thought they were gonna like make it so like she was like some kind of high functioning infected or something like that, and then that they would have
No,
to battle
they
her.
didn't.
Yes!
They
Honey,
didn't do that.
I thought
You
the same
guys-
thing.
They didn't write it that well. They
Nothing
didn't-
was
they
written
didn't-
well in
they
this.
didn't write it
There's
that
so
well.
many
Yeah.
better plot points.
So
they
you
could have
guys,
done. Ugh.
they're in the prison. The people attacked them. They got away. They're in the prison, and you know what? Ballard decides she's gonna finally succumb to
What the
Jericho's.
fuck was this?
Come on.
What is
She was like, fine,
Worst
let's do
fucking
it.
time.
Listen, Miguel, if you knew that the end was
Oh my
probably imminent.
God. And
the
Natasha
end-
Henstridge was like,
yeah, and
let's
Natasha
do
Henstridge
this.
is right there. You're like,
Or Jason Statham.
yeah,
was like,
Jason
hey,
Statham was
Jesus,
right there,
like,
and you're like, come
But
on.
like
yeah.
Jason Statham with like the hair on,
Yeah.
yes, 100%. Like
Like, look at you like to
No,
run your
no,
fingers
no,
through
no,
my
no,
veins.
You wanna,
I'll
you
need a little
wanna,
bit of Rogaine.
yeah,
Don't
you
have
wanna
any
feel
Rogaine.
my peach fuzz.
In the future, there's no Rogaine. There's no Jason in the
yeah.
It's
future.
very soft.
Yeah.
And like, and so like, oh, she's gonna. And this is like, I'm thinking so much about this movie. I'm like, oh, she's gonna like fucking fuck this dude up.
No, she literally is like,
Or-
let's
No,
why?
But at least maybe they have a tasteful love scene. They don't get that either.
they
They
just
just
don't
like,
even get that.
bang, bang,
They
bang,
get
bang, bang,
top
okay.
locked by murder.
It's also that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Also,
Yes.
Clea Duvall's
God
character,
damn it.
besides this guy who's going crazy, even though she knows there's something inside of him that's gonna come out when she murders him, she
Kills him
fucking
fully
murders him.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
it
she's an
comes
idiot,
out,
though.
and then it comes out and it's flying around like, let me find my next toast.
Evil Dead like. It's like,
Yeah.
who am I
Yeah.
gonna hit next? And you're like,
Yo,
okay.
okay, you stole this John Carpenter from Sam Raimi.
But then it hit Lieutenant
It gets
Ballard.
into the Lieutenant Ballard.
I'm like, no, she's
No,
the main
she's
character
the
though.
star. So they put her. This is the best part. They put her outside,
yeah.
Like 4 feet outside.
where the other like crazy Martians could find her.
Join them, yeah.
She should
join
be a
them.
part of it.
And then
yeah.
he gives her her fucking drug, and he's like, "This is gonna make her take on. This will either
So-
make or break her,
No,
basically."
they don't even do that.
Yeah.
It's not even how far they go. Ice Cube is like, oh, this is like her necklace that I stole from
No,
her.
He goes, this
Because
drug.
I'm a thief
No,
and
no.
I'm a black guy.
He goes, this drug will burn anything out. That's what he says.
Yeah, which
'Cause,
is-
like,
He did
I guess
actually say
he-
that,
which
yeah.
is
He just assumes
Which
that it'll
is
burn out.
stupid.
So she
Martian?
takes her little pill, the one that
Which
she took
is
earlier,
stupid.
and she has the
But also,
worst
like-
trip ever.
But also, like, burn any. What? This is not
Yeah,
something
what does that
established
mean?
by this drug.
What does that
Like,
mean?
It's
Yeah.
just like
That means
it's a fucking
nothing.
hallucinogenic, which does not do
Yeah.
anything like that.
It's not like it's not like a fever reducer.
Like, it's not like LSD
Like,
cure
yeah,
some
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And then
It's
she
like-
trips. Whoa.
Yeah, like.
No, she's like,
Which, by the way, the best acting she did in this
yeah,
movie.
literally
By far.
100%.
By
I
far.
was like,
By
oh,
far, I was like,
she.
she's killing
But
it.
so she lays there on the red dust of Mars, and she basically works through this thing that's trying to take her over. She sees all of its memories,
And fully
but she,
injects it.
yeah, and is able to basically just like spit it out of her. She's like, no, I do drugs, so that makes me really tough, I guess, and I'm just
Doing
spitting
drugs is
this
good
thing
for you
out.
is the
Yeah.
moral of
So
this
you
movie.
think like, oh,
Doing
this
drugs
thing,
is awesome.
this thing would
you
just
guys.
like them be like, oh, okay, I'll just go back in you because I'm a fucking miss. But
No,
it
I
just
know.
goes
It's
away.
like, never mind. I don't want to be
It not only
you.
goes away, but that miss is never seen again.
It's
just
gone.
like-
So
It's
basically,
gone
like
forever,
this
yeah.
is like the Keith Richards
Yeah.
version of like it's just like body isn't hospitable for death. I must leave.
So you guys, but she then like craftily is like, I'm gonna get back into the prison.
So okay, she's like
Crafting.
I have no weapons, and then like
I'm gonna
I have this
MacGyver
weird
this
weapon
shit,
that looks
yeah.
like a grappling
Yeah.
hook. I'm gonna attack you with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I guess she's gonna just use that. And she,
MacGruber's it. She
and then
MacGruber's
then
it.
she
Yeah.
fully kills this guy and is like, oh, I have this weapon that looks like a grappling hook, and also this rope I found.
Yeah.
Then she gets
Whack,
punched with a
whack,
bad
whack,
sword.
whack, whack, whack.
Then she just
Yeah.
walks over
Literally
razor
just
wire.
walks over razor
Well,
wire.
I mean-
Like,
Okay, so for the record, because Jamie brought
he's
this up
done
too.
it. He's
Jamie
done
brought
it.
this up too.
He loves razor wire. He's a razor wire expert.
If you're wearing something that's not like like if it's super tight, you can kind of like slide past.
Do you think
razor
she's
wire.
wearing something that was super tight?
Yeah, look at her fucking pants. Dude. Those pants are too fucking tight.
She was ripped.
Oh,
Too
too
ripped.
tight.
Fucking tight.
Razor
She's
wire
fine.
Camel
ripped.
toe and all.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
I could see the camel toe.
Yeah.
Razor
I
wire
can see a
expert
birth
Miguel Trotz.
I can
on,
see a birth
on
canal
razor
also.
wire. Okay.
Yeah,
Guys.
she was fine. Okay, guys.
A razor wire expert.
That's
So she gets back over the wall, and the best part is they're just
Just leave it in
like
the comments if you think I'm wrong.
she gets over the wall. She gets they see her on the camera, and the best part is they're like, "Is it you?" And she's like, "It's me." And instead of explaining to them like what happened, they're just like, "Are you sure it's
she
you?"
also
And she's
says-
like, "It's me."
she also
Okay,
said-
let her in.
She also says the tides are getting high out here.
Yeah.
What? What robot wrote this?
Also,
No,
there's
but-
no water at Mars.
I know. Oh, it's true.
There's no fucking water there.
But we have to remember that line, right? So we get to the full-on fight
This
because
fight
the train
scene is
comes
okay.
back. The train comes back, and they're like, "We need to fight to the train."
for the scene I wrote, it's me, and I wrote, okay, boobs.
Boobs. Yeah, they're like,
Oh, she
"Okay,
got boob
yeah,
litter,
she's,
that's
yeah,
fine, man.
she's hot."
If
She
she
seems
kills,
okay.
she has boobs still.
Yeah,
Like, okay.
right, boobs. So they have to fight their way to the train.
The
in this
kill
scene.
corridor.
Yeah.
Guys. So they're like, we're gonna. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna defend this position and then fall back.
To the train.
Because they're just gonna attack the front of the building for
Right, right.
some fucking stupid
Sure.
reason.
Because they're just metal. They're
It's a
not
stupid
deep.
fucking
They're just metal.
spore.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Martian enemies are not smart. They are just tough.
Killer.
They're violent. Yeah, they're
Also,
like.
what do they do if they kill them? They just like keep chanting all the time and they make little metal chime.
Yeah, they do make metal chimes.
Retire.
They would have a really good Etsy page. We're just saying, like
I
for
would buy
real.
some
Yeah,
of this stuff. I would
yeah,
buy some of this stuff.
for sure. So they
Melee!
yeah, so they attack the front,
I was
and
okay
there's
with
just
this fight
a
scene, to be
I
honest.
hated it.
This was my favorite part of
I
the
was like,
movie.
this is confusing. I'm
It was-
confused.
It was fine to me because
I didn't
they were defending position.
I like how
and
they're
moving
like, this
back.
person's fighting,
which
then
is
this
great.
person's
Like,
fighting,
you
then
know
this
what's
person's
you know
fighting.
what's cool, like really cool? A realistic fight. It's not cool.
I was fine with this.
And if you ever fought
It didn't
someone where
bother
like
me.
it fucking sucks and it's not fun,
It didn't bother me.
and this
I-
was that. It felt.
I
that
can
way.
see both viewpoints, but I enjoyed this
It
scene.
felt.
Yeah.
It felt weird, and I didn't like it.
I like where
It's like
they're like,
intense
we
and strong.
practiced that I'm gonna punch you here and I'm gonna
Oh
get
my
hit
guts.
here and then we're gonna
And
go
also, like,
there. And
Like the ghost is really not trying to kill them. Really,
No,
they're just
no.
like missing them
Yeah,
horribly,
no,
like
terribly.
swing
They're
wildly.
all
and,
really
like,
bad.
whoa,
Early on in this
whoa.
fight-
it was like original Star Trek fight.
Early on in this
scenes,
fight,
you know?
Gene Simmons gets lit on fire.
And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that's gonna affect him. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Does not.
No.
He's fine.
It doesn't even look like he's been on fire in the
Yeah.
next scene either.
I was
Like,
like,
okay,
okay.
cool.
And he's just like, "Wah."
Like my face is messed up. Let's rock and roll it. My long tongue. You're like, okay.
So,
cool.
but they get to the train. They get there. Who dies along the way? I'm trying to think. Who dies to the train?
no one on the way to the train because
No, I think they make it. Yeah, they make it. So they all make it
Also,
back
this
to the
car,
train.
the car they take to get to the train is going like legit 10 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
It's
a
like-
golf cart.
Yeah.
It's like a
Oh
golf
my
cart
god, no, I
covered
love
in-
it.
It's like a
It's
prop
like
golf
the
cart.
slowest transfer
Yeah,
ever.
yeah.
It's like the Pope Mobile,
That's like,
Because
but
they
this
run
only
in
goes
Texas.
5 miles
Because
per
they
hour.
literally
Yeah.
took like an ATV or a golf cart and just covered it in
Yeah.
shit. And they're just like, oh, look, it's armored. And you're like, no, it's
Yeah.
just a golf
They
cart.
look like shit.
So they take their slow Pope Mobile and they get to the train.
I
they
would
get
totally
on the
legit,
train.
I would legit own that though in real
Yeah.
life, for the record.
They get on the train and you're
Yeah.
like, it's the end of the movie, right?
Yeah.
They're on the train?
This is
Also,
so
everything is just exploding
stupid.
now. Everything's
And
exploding.
like, but also part of you's like, oh, they all have to die though, so like they're not getting away. And it's like, oh, we all got off at the last stop or something.
So no,
like
they basically
They have all these charges too.
They
Grenades.
decide they're like, listen.
They're like these little, they're like weed killer light bulbs or something. There's like these little like yellow
They have, like,
things.
runner lights. They painted yellow.
Yeah.
Maybe like
So, but you guys, they're like, guess what? If we set off the bombs that were back at that base where all these ghosts are, right? And the doctor,
no, this is not even bombs. Overload a reactor.
Yeah.
they're gonna overload the reactor at the mine,
they're
right?
like, so this
Okay,
also
this is actually farther because
this may be insane.
they had
because,
already
like,
gotten out basically.
They're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is a nuclear reactor, and the explosion will be 1 mile. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
that's not a thing.
No.
The nuclear reactor, like it'd be like this, like a reactor the size of like a tennis ball. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like this is pissing me off. I hate this.
Yeah.
Mike, it's 200 years in the future. They
Plus-
probably found
plus,
a better way to do it. Okay?
Okay, so hold on. I'm refuting myself because
Okay,
not
yeah,
because it's
sure.
terraform. It's terraform.
Yeah.
Never mind. Because if this was
200
Mars'
years in the
atmosphere
future,
now,
okay?
there's not enough atoms to smash together
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make a reaction. But this is terraform
Mike,
Mars with breathable.
200 years
breathable
in
air.
the future, though. Okay, they've probably got a better reactor. Okay,
It wasn't breathable air. They had. We didn't even
No,
talk
they have
about that.
still
Like their
sunglasses.
stupid little
Some of the
like.
stupid things in the nose.
Yeah,
They
I don't
have
remember.
it.
And they're like,
I-
we'll never get used
I
to
was
the way this
confused by
feels.
that.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. They can't breathe there. So
Okay,
anyway,
keep going.
the
Keep
stupid,
going.
but the stupidest part is, even if they destroy all the fucking bodies, they're
The
like
bodies.
dust particles.
Well, that's no, but I mean,
We're hoping the nuclear blast
Yeah,
also
yeah.
destroys the
it
dust.
just burns them. It
Yeah.
just burns
I mean,
them off.
unless
Okay.
would do
Yeah.
that for the record.
Unless
Okay.
it's spooky.
Unless it's spooky.
Spooky,
creepy
scary.
ghosts.
Ooh.
But
not you, Guillermo.
Not you. But that's okay, guys, because they're not getting because they come back, and so everyone on the train who is all dead. They're all dead. There's no reason they're gonna live.
well, the,
Yeah.
the train driver.
All the extras are on the train.
The train driver is like,
I don't want to go back.
He's like, the
No.
answer is no. And she goes,
I
the
do love
answer
that guy.
is yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
they just
do
it.
actually. I do love that guy. I'm gonna look up who plays that because just keep.
No, it's
talking,
fine. We're
sorry.
gonna keep talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so they all go back and like those guys are dead, and they're like, we're gonna cause a distraction so that you
Yes.
can go to the reactor and
And blow it. Yeah, exactly, and overload it.
So
yeah.
they're all overloading the reactor and they're doing fine. There's nobody there. But then like Mr. Satan looks over and is like, oh, I see them.
Oh yeah.
And like, that's somehow they
What?
caught up to them, I guess, and they knew where they were.
Okay,
and-
so wait, the reactor was like 5 feet away from the station? That's okay. Then why don't we need a... Okay. Like, I don't...
for the plot to happen, Mike, obviously. And this plan is very simple. So, yeah, then everybody just starts getting murdered.
Murder.
So the main characters get back to the train. Everyone on the train is dead except for the main characters who get back to the train.
Yeah.
And they're like driving, and then you see some of the
It's just
some of the ghosts jump on the train.
It's just at this point the lieutenant and Desolation. They're the only two people alive, I think.
Yeah.
Arlene makes it back to the train, I think, doesn't she?
Arlene?
Whitlock?
Arlene Whitlock.
I
Yeah.
don't think
Oh,
so.
okay.
Does she? I don't think
No,
so.
she dies back on. She dies back.
Yeah,
at the
Sergeant
base.
dies.
So
Dies
the
in the
two
reactor.
main
Yeah.
characters make it back.
That's
to the
it.
train.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just Ballard
And
and,
save them as
De-
they look like
Desolation.
shooting gun, and he like just runs out of ammo and just like
Yeah.
gets stabbed to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He like it's like zombie
like
kill.
30 dudes.
Like a
yeah,
zombie
yeah,
kill.
like horde
Yeah,
kill, horde
murdered.
kill,
Yeah.
Which you're like, okay, and they show it for like too long,
Yeah.
like 2 minutes of it. I'm like, oh no, we get it.
It's already this movie's already too much.
We got
It
it.
is.
So they're on the train. You see like some dudes kind of like, oh, they're gonna have to fight the
The
dudes.
train goes like a half a mile per hour.
So-
to start moving.
So Ballard's trying to drive the train, and Ice Cube, Desolation is like, I'm gonna go get him, and he just grabs a bunch of explosives. I'm like, oh, so
Yeah.
you're not gonna get a gun? Okay, just gonna throw grenades at him?
Oh, those grenades, by the way, were weak. They like,
Yeah, I mean, they just like have like an explosive.
like they're
that
explosive,
much.
but people were just walking right through it. Like in
Yeah.
the shot, even it looked like it was made in the '60s, like one of those things where they have an explosion, and, like people just kind of fall over next to it, but they're not.
It's very much like
exploding.
it felt like Brick from Anchorman, where he's just like holding a grenade, and you're like, okay, this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so he then we
Almost
get
done, guys.
then we get the
Almost
cool boss fights, guys. So we get random dude that fights Ballard. You're like, who the fuck is this
By the
guy?
way, do you know
Oh my
who
God.
did the puppeteering for this movie?
Jim Henson.
Greg Nicotero.
Oh yeah, Nicotero, of course.
So
From The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
that guy was like, that's a Walking Dead guy right there. Like I was like, it's like this is when he based his zombies off of this guy fighting Ballard. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Tracks.
Yeah. So we send random dude after our.
He was like a karate guy or something.
He's like, I know karate, and you're like, okay,
sure.
I'm a karate demon guy.
This has not been established or your character, but sure,
Yeah.
go for it, dude.
But I'm glad this is the boss fight.
Yeah.
And then Ice Cube.
Alice Cooper.
Ice Cube fights Marilyn Manson, and it is the dumbest and the worst boss. I'm like, oh, here comes the boss fight, and he's like, I blowed it up.
But
And
he
you're
dies
like,
in the
"Oh,
most metal way because he goes, wah!
Yeah.
Okay.
And he
So
dies.
they murder him. Yeah. So they're on the train.
Oh, and also, so they're on the train, and then the bomb goes off,
Yeah.
and so we see this nuclear explosion from space. That
Yeah.
looks like it's like 50 miles in radius.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
it's only 1 mile.
that's
Yeah.
not. This is. I don't.
It was
like
closed
any-
space.
Like
It's
you
fine.
can see the curvature of Mars,
It's closed
and
space.
then you see the explosion, which means this is planetary size.
Yeah.
Like to the point where like
Yeah. It would murder everyone there. And they're going to another part of Mars that wasn't affected, apparently, right? Sure.
Guys-
Mars is bigger than
Guys,
Earth,
our
right?
hero
So,
and our other hero, I guess, are now on the train together, though.
just the two of
But
them.
guess what?
Just the two of
But she's
us.
knocked out, of course, because she's a lady.
Yeah, because the weaker sex, right?
She's and of course Ice
First,
Cube's-
Ice Cube sewed her up, though. Because
he's
he knew how to do
Because my dad was a surgeon. You're like,
Or
okay,
something.
Thanks for this.
That was the
plot
last
point
movie,
right at
but
the
sure,
end.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
right-
yeah.
No, this is what it is. He's like, my dad was a surgeon and is sewing her up. I'm like, okay.
He's like, you might have a scar, but you're going to be
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
okay, cool. And she's like, okay, I love you, Ice Cube.
But then she gets cuffed.
So in the stupidest way, like
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so I'm just get to
God.
sleep.
oh, I got you. Like
What? You cuffed me? I thought you were
First,
going to get
why
me a
are you-
blanket.
Yeah, like why are you grabbing your hand and moving?
Why are you
Like, I'd be
gently
like, fuck
lifting
you,
my
get
arm
the
up?
fuck
No, and
off
I
my
love that
hand.
because I love she's basically like, we're gonna get there. I'm gonna write up my report. It's gonna explain that it wasn't your fault
and
at
that
all,
you're innocent, yeah.
and that you're innocent.
Because we saw
and you'll
the
be let go
evidence
of.
of this.
No, and he was literally like, "I'm gonna cuff you.
I'm not
because
gonna
I
do
don't
it.
trust you, and they're
Yeah.
gonna arrest
But
me anyway."
then she goes, where are you going to go? And he goes, anywhere is better than hell.
Anywhere with dust particle ghosts of Mars.
Yeah, I feel like that's not hell. I don't know.
What?
I feel like John Carpenter really wanted a sequel to this movie.
Oh no,
Oh,
we
definitely.
we were like, no, because we haven't even gotten there. So you guys, the whole point of this was she's been giving her testimony this whole time,
Yeah.
right? So she finishes her story.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, but guess what? You're gonna be held accountable now, so we're gonna put you in jail. So she gets fucking put in jail because of everything that happened, and she's in jail, and she's like, what am I gonna do? I'm like stuck in here. I don't know what to do, but guess
also,
what?
In jail in pantsless, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sexy.
It's true. So because she's like sleeping and she wakes up because like an explosion
And he's
happened
wearing
and
a
she's like,
weird,
what?
like a onesie, like a bodysuit.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But then something's going
The
down.
future?
in
Yeah,
jail.
so she puts on her pants. She just put on her pants. I mean, we see some stuff, but then she puts on her pants and she's going to see what happened, and she's like, what happened? And guess who's there to save her?
It's desolation.
Desolation!
With two MP5s. This time,
Yeah.
in the first scene they were black. This time they're silver.
And also with the same leather jacket he was wearing when he did his flashback to
And
who
cuts.
knows when.
We're
yeah.
done.
No,
Guys.
but no, we missed the best part because they're walking
No,
out
I
with
got
guns. They're walking out with guns, and he goes, you know, you would make like a good what does he say?
He goes, you make a hell of a crook.
You'd make a hell of a crook, and she
And
goes,
he's like, you'd make a hell
you'd
of
make a
cop.
hell of a cop.
He also,
They're
and then
like,
they go, no, when he hands her the gun, by the way, he goes, the tide is up. It's time to stay
remember,
alive.
because she said the tide is high, and he's like, the tide is up now.
It's
We're
time to
gonna
stay alive.
partner up.
Like,
Because-
none of that's a thing.
Because the ghost mist is there or
It's not a
something.
thing, though.
Where is the sequel to this? Oh, yeah, this movie cost $28 million to make. Not a lot. It only made $14 million.
I'd be
But
surprised
has
if
had
it-
a cult following since
Womp.
the beginning.
including
And I
us,
get
I
it.
guess, right?
Including us.
Guys, is this the worst movie we've seen?
God, no. I actually enjoyed parts of this movie. It was not good, but it wasn't the worst.
I think Mike's having an existential crisis over there. And he loves Santa's sleigh, so,
I mean, Christmas Slade was better than this movie. This movie sucked. and I hated it.
He said Christmas Light was better.
Yes,
No.
I hated it.
No way.
Yes, because Christmas Light didn't like this movie tried too fucking hard.
Of course
It's
it
just
did.
trying
So
too
is this the
hard
worst
all
movie you
times.
watched? Is
No,
this
no,
worse
no.
than Yoko
Oh,
Roses?
no, definitely not. No, I like Yoko Roses. You know that. This movie was not the worst I watched, but it was terrible. And Jamie thought of a good punishment movie for you, so just be careful.
Oh,
Just
Fine.
Called Something Borrowed. We might watch that one next.
oh, good.
John Krasinski, Matt.
Oh.
We're gonna watch Marry Me. It's on Peacock, by the way. Watch Marry Me. Do we burn
That's
this
how I feel
movie?
about
Burn
all
the
rom-coms.
fuck out of
Do
this
we
movie.
burn this movie?
Yeah, please do.
Because you like this movie. Do we burn it?
I didn't hate it.
But
do
do
you
you
burn
burn
it?
it or not? That's the real
Oh
question.
yeah, burn the fuck out of
Okay.
it.
Burn.
Guys.
John Carpenter.
Stay classy.
Sorry, bud. Try again, man. Try again. You tried, bro.